Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. This is our second episode of building a capital vessel. No, it doesn't look like much now, just a box with legs. I did, however, just finish. It only took a moment. I finished up encompassing the engines here in the back and marked a spot there for the center in the back as well because I have a plan for that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I did. Like I said, I was going to do that off camera. I was going to encompass the other side just like I did this side, give it a nice round look. I did notice, though, that these blocks over here probably going to have to go. We'll have to fit some square blocks into there at some point. I did throw some fuel in the tanks. And I also marked out, I drilled all the holes for the thrusters that we started last episode. And I want to power it up, and I want to see if it'll just get off the ground with these few thrusters that we have. So let's make that our first order of business today. Let's get these thrusters in place and see if we can't get it up off the ground. And if that will work, then we won't have to worry about putting any more thrusters on it. If not, we may double up on the amount of thrusters that we have on the bottom, and hopefully 3 generators is going to be enough to make this sucker efficient. It's not super large, it's not really a big vessel compared to some that you see, but we are going to have a lot more weight on the top of it. And what I've learned from the short time that I have played this game, when I am fighting those POIs, is that the vessel I had, there are a lot of blocks that are like, let's show you here. There are a lot of blocks that are like this, and you see how it's just this thin little piece? Let's see if this tests out right. Place a regular block here. Boom, one little quick shot, it's done. This one takes 2. So those little blocks, like you saw, for decoration more than anything, all over the place on a lot of those prefab vessels. So if you get hit by a laser, it takes 1 and that block is gone. And also, if you watch my Let's Play, you'll notice that I don't do a lot of glass because I fly the vessels from third-person perspective, so I don't need the glass to see through. It looks cool. And we're going to put some on here just to, make it look neat and all. But I don't know that I'll really utilize a whole bunch of glass. So what I want to do now is I want to hop in this thing and power it up and see if we can get it to lift off the ground. Okay, so that's not enough thrusters to get it to go up off the ground. Now we could go forward. We're going to have to put some forward thrusters as well, aiming forward to help us go backwards. So see there, I'm holding down. There's no way to kind of look around here. I was going to try to look around. I thought there was a free look. There we go. Okay, so let's look down here. So see, they're all powered up. It's not enough juice to get us up, so we're gonna have to put some more. Let's see what we could do here. What can we do to get this bad boy off the ground? Well, we could put some thrusters under here, but then we'd most likely need to have them up here as well. Why don't we do this? Everywhere there's one of these, let's surround it in thrusters. Maybe not all of them. Certainly do the ones. Oh, didn't mean to take that out. That was a boo-boo. Let's replace that block there. See now how much thrust it actually takes to get these things off the ground. And this is small compared to one that I use on the server. The one I use on the server is just massive. It is huge. So, I don't recall off the top of my head how many thrusters it actually had on it. And maybe we use some of the larger thrusters as well. I don't even know if that's possible, you know, so it's just a learning experience for me as well. And what's possible and what's not. I have the basic mechanics down, but you're kind of learning here along with me on how to create a capital vessel. So we're going to need a lot more of these thrusters. 13's not going to do it. Boy, this thing is not going to be efficient at all with all the thrusters it's going to take. Because don't forget, you know, we still have to put thrusters on the what happened there? We still have to put thrusters aiming forward, you know, and on the sides. I guess I'm trying to think of how the ones were on the sides. You don't want to have to get too crazy with the ones on the side to spin us around, because we can just turn the ship, but we absolutely going to have enough of these to get us up in the air. Vertical takeoff. Alright, so that's a lot more thrusters. Let's run on up to the pilot seat here. Sorry about that. Wrong button. Alright, there we go. There's our free look. Now there's enough power to get up off the ground. That's very slow, but it is getting us up nonetheless. Alright. I'm going to slowly drift on back down to the ground here. Well, at least it does that for us, and we don't have to have thrusters up top to do that. So that is done. One more test here real quick. Get us up. So if we hold down on it, boy, that's just a crawl on how slowly it goes up. So let's do a test here. Let's test out some more of these thrusters. Let's look at the capital vessel blocks here. And let's type in thruster. Let's click on capital vessel. So thruster block M. You know, these may be the ones that we should have gone with all along. Let's throw some stuff in our inventory here for right now. We're not going to need that stuff. Right now, you know, we're going to do some other things first. We'll just trash this and trash this. Those are going to be our main propulsion units. So let's go back to thrusters again. Now let's see what these will do. How big they are. They're pretty big. See how far they would hang down. Okay, so that wouldn't be bad. And just at first glance, I thought, well, those are going to be so large, they're not going to do well. Let's just try 16 of these initially here. We're going to do 4 around the exterior portion, and that may not be very fuel efficient to have that many. We'll just have to gauge and test all of that as we move along. I know the one vessel that I downloaded off Steam was like this. It was really heavy, and it moved so slowly coming off of the ground. It just, you know, it was just like that. And you can just tilt your vessel up and use your rear engines to kind of fly you. You know, that's just, we don't want that. We want to be able to shoot up off of the ground quickly and just take off if at all possible. And I'm pretty sure with enough thrusters here, we're going to be able to do that. So let's try these now. So these are the medium-sized thrusters, much larger. Let's do that. Let's go external view. Do a free look. Okay, that's a little better. It's not, still not exactly, you know, what I had hoped for. But what we can do is, when we get up here, you know, we can absolutely, let's turn off the free look. So I don't have any thrusters aiming any other directions to kind of turn me around. So we're going to have to add all of those. So let's kill the power, drift back down to the ground here. All right. Now, how can we do the thrusters for backing us up? Maybe we could put a few in here. Those are going to be big too, goodness. Or maybe we can stuff them in here somewhere. You know, up in there, up in there, up in there. Something like that. Give us, so we can back up. Beep, beep. Of course, I don't think it comes equipped with the beep, beep, but let's see where we stuck those. The very top block, yes, we did. Okay, now I also need to, and this front is not going to look like this when we're done. I envisioned something earlier when I was looking at the vessel and thought of something that I could do with it and give it kind of a sleek design. Now, of course, we probably, before I go plopping thrusters down all over the place, those are hidden and they're fine. They're not going to get in the way. But most likely, I'm going to need to get this next level built first before we go adding a whole lot of other thrusters in different locations, because I need to have some aiming like that. You know, I want to have at least one on each side aiming like that. And those over there, we can test it right now and see if we can back up with that amount of thrust. And we should be able to. Let's get an external view. Let's power it up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, see that? So we're going backwards. Oh, it's real fast going forward. Let's take this view. So I don't have any thrusters to turn yet, though, on the sides. But before we do that, see, I can go forward super fast. Power usage 3%. Idling, that's not too bad. It's because we have so many generators down there. And that's another thing, you know, to get your efficiency up. Having more generators is going to make that power usage number lower. Not necessarily more efficient, I guess, because, you know, you're burning more generators at once to keep it going, but there's no shortage there of power. So that's good. That's going to work out. We may, when I start doctoring up the front and getting all creative with it, we may encompass these with some type of an armor block so that you cannot see them or shoot them out. You know what I'm saying? Something to go around here so that the first shot that we take doesn't totally destroy them. Let's see. You know, we probably wouldn't want to do it that way. We'd probably want to do it this way. Something like that on the edges. Flat block, and then have a curved piece here to attach to that flat block. That's just for an example. I'll show you what I had in mind. Don't know if it's going to be exactly what we go with in the end, but just some form of protection. Because if you lose any thrusters in a fight, you know, you're in a lot of trouble. You have no maneuverability, and you're absolutely going to eat it. Yeah, that's where we want that one. That's where we want that one. Now let's go to the cube block. Oh, I didn't do that right. Didn't do something right. This is right. And that. Then we're going to need to go back to the angle block again. Boy, I don't feel like we're getting anything done here today. I'm just kind of stalling, wasting time, I feel like, but all necessary part of the process. You know, like I said, I'm learning as well as you all. If you don't know currently how to build a capital vessel from scratch, then we're all sort of learning together, have a good idea of how things should go. So something like that. I know that doesn't look the greatest in the world. You know, and we may change it to curved blocks or something, but you know, something like that, so that it's all protected down here, and we don't take direct shots to the to those engines and take them out, because they're very exposed right there, very, very exposed. Matter of fact, I'll show you here. Look at that, one shot, probably one more shot, and that would be destroyed. So they only have 350 hit points, so a laser is absolutely going to tear those up. All right, so that is done. Let's get to working on encompassing this second level. And I was talking to Whole Crow today. He's like, hey, you may want to throw on a hangar bay for your small vessel. Well, I don't yet know how large the small vessel is going to be that I would put on something like this. So I think I will just make a landing pad on the roof here. And we'll go from there with it. You know, we'll decide from there exactly what it's going to look like. And I also thought about, since I don't think we're going to need, you know, this vessel is not going to be for looks. You see a lot of those vessels that have all of these incredible decorations and all of this crap, gardens and stuff. And I don't, all I want this for is for POIs, to take out those alien POIs. So I thought about, since I want the front to be a curved, angled, as sleek as we can get it. Let's see, we'd have an angle, angle, angle. So maybe we come into here. Let's see, so let's see what this looks like if we do this. Because we want plenty of room. I think we have to be at least 3 high. So 1, 2, 3... It won't let me place a block on top of that elevator, but that's 3. So let's see if we can place it. Yeah, we can place a block on that. Okay, so we want to be 3 high so we can cover up this warp drive. I have the warp drive tank in my inventory too. But the reason I did this is, and let's show you what my idea may be, and I don't even know if it's going to work, but we're going to see if it will. The corners, gosh, you know, I don't even know what to say about the corners. I don't know how I'm going to do the corners quite yet. But I know this part, at least, how I want it to look. We're just going to have to toy around with it and see if it's actually possible to do something like that. Well, that's not right. Let's put down some square blocks here. And I guess let's do some more angled pieces here. I'll have to figure out where it meets up. Something like that, maybe. It's kind of like building a pyramid. Lord, I've done enough of that on 7 Days to Die. All right, so here and here. And now let's look at corner pieces and see how they would fit in to the equation. And this is why I was saying in the back engine compartment, we're most likely going to have to change that up and how it looks. So this would leave us this amount of space. I'm just going to stick this here to show us. It would leave us a tube gap around here. Now, of course, we have a lot of room over here because the wall is going to start right here. So it would give us 8 plus, a little bit of walking space in here or whatever too. So we'll have plenty of room this way. The difference between normal capital vessels that you might see and this one, normally they are long going this way. This one's going to be wide and short. So, a little difference in the design. I'm sure there are probably 10,000 people that have made them this way, but it was just my idea. I said, I would go this way with it instead of the typical way. So that's the idea, is to have it look like this and angled. And then I'm going to keep on going with the angle. Give you another idea of the direction I go. And I may do some of this off camera. I haven't decided yet. I don't know how that's how it's going to work out. Some of you might get a little tired of seeing me work on this every day, and just want me to hurry it along and get it done, get it finished. Something like that. Then we'll do a flat block there, flat block there, and a flat block there. And hey, since we're on the topic, here talking about this game and spaceships and all of that, you may all be interested in a game called Empyrion. Empyrion. I've been playing that lately, and it's, I don't want to say brainless is not a good way to describe something, but it's kind of like this, a lot more simplistic, and it's not as much to it, but it is a lot of fun. I've spent a lot of time playing it lately, and I certainly have enjoyed my time playing it. So maybe something. It's a $17.99 on Steam right now. Maybe able to catch it on sale or something for $10 or whatever, and it's absolutely worth that. I've don't know how many hours I have on it so far. Not a lot, but what I do have on it, I have certainly enjoyed every moment of it. So let's just get one of these sides done here and see what the idea would look like if we built it out like so. So we're going to need one block here, and the same there. I'm sure you all by now can see where I'm going with this, and why I want to. Oh, son of a gun, I think I hit the button. There we go, too many times. Oh, I had it right there. Something like that. Now this would be a tricky spot for me here. How could we, I know there are lots and lots of pieces that we could utilize for this particular section. Don't know what's going to look the best. Good transition piece. Let's try the little corner and see what that looks like. I don't like that. That doesn't look good. Little things like this really going to slow me down because I'm so new to all of the different style blocks. This is all kind of new to me here, so I'm just going to have to play around with some of the available blocks. That almost looks like the right one right there, but not quite. Maybe if we flipped it. No. That still doesn't look good though. That's closer to what I'm looking for, but that's not it. Corner long. Nope. Well, what happens if, what we could do, let's take this off. And I'm getting into a lot of the creative aspect of it right now and the way it looks. And that was my fear, is that I'm going to bore you all with my designs, you know, what I can come up with here for a design. But yeah, absolutely don't mean to. It just, you know, kind of wanted to get something that was functional, absolutely, but something that looks nice as well. I want it to look really nice. Now, can we fit a little sliver of a piece in there? Nah, that doesn't look good. Looks good there, but it doesn't look good on these pieces here. We'd have to get some other transition piece to go from there to there. So let's take that off. There's a little bit of guesswork involved here with all these different shaped blocks that we have to play with. Maybe we come back to this at some other time. Maybe I'll toy around with it on... I kind of like that smooth looking piece, but maybe I toy around with it on my you know, off cam time and see what I can come up with for something that looks nice and is efficient and all of that good stuff. Okay, something like that. Looks good going across there. Let's make this a flat block. And once I finish this one little piece, we're not going to do the other sides. I'm going to go on inside the vessel and kind of work with some things in there. Oh, son of a gun, you Spartan. Misplacing blocks. What you doing, man? Yeah, we don't want it to stand out too much from the corners. We just want it to be a nice little transition. So what I'll do is, for this particular section here, we'll leave this for an off-camera time for me to play around with. And I won't leave too much of that out for you. You know, I'll let you see what I come up with. And maybe I just get one side done or something. And then I'll, you know, fire it back up, the recording, and we'll get to working on this. Corner piece here, but you see this going all the way across the center. Maybe we put some glass in this section right here once we reach the cockpit area. We come across, but right now what we can do is we can go ahead and encompass this next phase in steel blocks and get this done. We're gonna stay, oh, where'd you go? 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. We're going to stay that amount of blocks off the edge to give us this room to play with for the ramp blocks. 1, 2, 4. You know, I could have come one more out here and started the ramp going down a little further, but that's okay. It's going to be fine. We're going to have plenty of room in here. So let's get another row going across like so. And get another one going this way. And hopefully, if we can do a good enough job on this thing, it's something that I'm proud of when we finish, we might upload it to the workshop. So, you know, if you all enjoy the design after it's all done, you can download it yourself and try it out and see what I've been toying around with. That's the plan, at least. I don't know. You know, may have a bust here. It may have something that doesn't work very well. But before it's all over with, we're going to take this thing up to one of the alien sectors. We're going to build it. We're going to import the blueprint into our single-player game and build it. And load it up with ammo, take it up to the one of the alien sectors that we have not been to yet, and absolutely put the blast on that thing. So, you know, this is going to be a little different in the back because of the engines. Let me stop right there. Stop right there. Okay. So I'll have to figure out a nice little transition to come from the engines into what you see right here. We'll figure out a transition. This is going to be easy. It's late at night, and brain isn't 100%. Not that it ever is, but you know, something that's going to look nice and be a smooth transition. We could even do circular or round pieces or something there, but we can also get some more thrusters. Maybe even use these slots right here for thrusters, you know, because this is going to go all the way down. What you see here, we're going to have a section that goes all the way down, and so you see how many extra blocks that we have in here. And we'll just take like this center block out, maybe one here, one here, one here, and stick some thrusters in the sides so we have a little bit of thrust on the sides to spin us around and whatnot. So 1, 2, 3. Let's get this going over here. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, when this project, the idea came up, I wasn't very enthused about it. But as we started working on it last episode, I started getting a little more excited. You know, I started thinking, well, this could have potential to be a really cool vessel with this idea that I had in mind and how to do it. And you see here how it's starting to take shape. I know you all probably left last episode and thought, goodness, that is just a box with some feet. And a couple engines. What's he going to do with that thing? But, you know, now you can see it's sort of taking shape, and the idea that I had in my mind and how I would encompass it to make it sort of a sleek design. We're going to chisel away some of these pieces, like I said, so we can strap cannons and turrets and all of that stuff on it too. The one trick now will be transitioning into this engine compartment back here. And I may end up taking these thrusters out and sticking them out here, or even out here or out here, and encompassing them, you know, to give us a smoother transition into this block back over here. So that's going to be our interior compartment. If let me turn off this flying mode here real quick. And so now we're in here. We go down the elevator. We're on the first floor. And there's all our fuel tanks that I have filled up. We go up here and we come out. And there we are. Now look at all of that space. See, it doesn't look like a lot when I'm flying around. But for this to only be an attack vessel, it absolutely will have the capability of carrying a small vessel. But for it to be only an attack vessel, we're going to have plenty of room here. Ooh, another idea I had. Let's test it out here. Let's go down below and see what's what down here first before I go doing this. We'll start right here. We'll bring them out onto our belt. And cargo box 1. Is that 1 block thick? Yeah, I guess it is. Something like that. Now, I don't know the structural integrity on these ships and exactly how it's going to work. If it's going to hold this kind of weight with us, maybe no support pillars. So maybe we should, yeah, you know, because structural integrity on the bases are a little different. The ship is always going to show red, no matter what. I know I've seen that before. You know, looking at the ships, and the base will be perfect, and I'll use a prefab ship that comes with the game, and it's, you know, it's all red. So there's our, if you hold down N, you can bring up this menu here, and it's really beneficial for the base because you can show structural integrity, see how many blocks out that you can go and whatnot. Don't need that now, but maybe we put some support in here at some point, possibly. Let's see what type of blocks, because I guarantee you they all hold the same weight. There we go. So let's get center of this and go 1, 2, 3, And we'll just go 2 away. Just for now, we'll place these. We may take these out or change them up. Just depends on, you know, the other stuff that we need to put in here. But I guarantee you, we get our warp drive in, we get our ammo storage and all of that stuff. We're going to be fine with space here. I don't think we're going to need a 3rd level or anything like that. Now, you may witness this whole thing collapse in. I don't know. You know, I don't know structural integrity for the vessels, being that this is the first one I have ever constructed from scratch. But my idea was to put the storage in the floor. And so I don't know how much weight this is actually going to hold doing it this way, if any at all. So that way, the storage, it's out of the way. You know, we don't have the concern of the storage. And look at that, it's all hidden nice and neat up in there. We'll make all these the right color too. I kind of like everything the same color. I make all of my ships black. I love black and I love red lighting. So black with red lighting. But just for the, you know, right now we're going to make everything gray. So that's it. That's the idea I had. And we'll absolutely do the same thing with storage. And this is going to save us space too, because, you know, you see a lot of times, I don't have an ammo storage, but you see a lot of times people do this number here. They'll just stick them along a wall or out on the floor or something. But the idea of having a 2-level ship, we don't have a whole lot of extra room to play around with. We want it to be as spacious as possible. So now we have it in the floor. We can access it from both levels. I do something similar to this on my 7 Days to Die series when I'm building bases. And this elevator is going to go up to the next floor up. So we'll actually need to, let's go back into our little flying mode so we can get to building again after covering that. It was just an idea I had after the recording the other night. And actually today when I got on, you know, I sort of examined it and I was like, yeah, that could work. So do this. My only concern was the integrity, structural integrity, and how much weight that's going to hold. So we might come out here and do those same pillars that we did right there. We might put a couple more of those in as well to hold the weight of this next level here. Did we go out 3 or 2? 1, 2, and then the 3rd. That'll be good. That'll be good. Something like that. Well, you know what? We wouldn't even need to do that. We wouldn't even need to go up the 3. That's going to be our top level. So I went 1 too high. And bloop. All right, let's go back to our steel blocks, the cubes. Tell you what, we'll stop right there with it. And then we're going to attach this here. Put that there and that there. All right. Let's do the same thing over here. Let's go out to the elevator block and then fill in these individually like so. All right, raise on up. Boom. Done. That's our second level. So the next thing we'll need to do, now that we have that done, is we'll need to, well, not the next thing, but I need to start planning for where we're going to land our small craft. You know, this is a nice flat open space. I don't have any plans for anything up here. So absolutely this elevator block, you know, could bring us up. I don't want to make it much taller. That's the whole thing. You know, I want it to be a sleek design, spacious enough to hold everything that we need it to hold, but sleek enough that when they're firing at us, we still have the opportunity to get out of the way and miss some of those shots, you know, maneuver around. And that's another reason that I'm going to have plenty of thrusters and also RCS. I have some of those on me here. There we go, 10 RCS. And we could probably put these down in our compartment down here. Let's see. Could we take the floor blocks out? That's the next thing. I'm sure we have a second layer. Yeah, we sure do. So this is the nice thing about having a double layer floor as well. And I could put these anywhere, you know, they don't necessarily have to be here in the front. We may rearrange them. Goodness, why are they purple? Ugh. Purple and orange are probably my least favorite colors out of all the colors in the whole world. All right, so let's change that. Oh, I didn't mean to color the floor blocks. It's kind of funny. It's a light color, but then if you color a floor block, it's the wrong color. All right, so those are our RCS. Now, let's get back in now that we've added some of this weight. Let's power her up and see what she'll do. Oh, yeah, sleek. Just picking up right off the ground. As a matter of fact, she's just going on up into the ground. So now our RCS has enabled us to turn easily. We're able to look all around. And can we stop and back up? Yes, we can. Look at that. Beautiful. Press our O and level out again. So we don't have any side-to-side thrusters. And we don't have anything that can help us to go down. So that's our issue now. But those are issues that we'll work out as we complete the build. Right now, just want to make sure that it'll take off. What was the efficiency here? Oh yeah, 2% power usage, so we're really good on that. Of course, we're going to have a lot more thrusters still to go, but for the most part, you know, that's what we're looking for. Let me change the lighting here just a little bit. I don't like the way the sun is shining there. Shouldn't be moving at all. I turned time off so that time couldn't pass in this little creative thing that we're doing here. All right, there we go. So like I said, I'll get this situated off camera. This second level has been enclosed now. Let's get down in here. We could do a little glass case around this or something to fancy it up, but it's not necessary, you know. It's not necessary to do any of that. I thought about it. I was like, well, if I have room, I'll do this number right here. I'll enclose it in glass, but it does kind of take up space to do that, you know. So that's the one disadvantage to enclosing it is you're losing a little bit of move around space. Not really. I mean, it's not usable space. Oh, I hit the wrong button. It's not usable space anyway, but and we might not be able to do that because I put the storage there. I should have put the storage along the wall area and not out where we did. I don't know what I just did. I hit the wrong button and I changed it up to where it shouldn't be. But anyway, I don't think that's going to be necessary. I'm not too concerned with... Oh, we took up our warp drive. That ain't good, Spartan. That's just how fast that thing can get destroyed. My goodness. Just trying to show you all what we could do with that. Let's plop her back down again. So it would only make sense to put the warp drive storage tank up here. So we can go ahead and get that put in place as well. Warp drive tank. Let's see how we can place this thing. If we can stick it in the floor, we may place it downstairs. I know it would almost make more sense to put it up here where the warp drive's at, but if we could put it downstairs in the floor, since we have a double layer floor, almost should have done a double layer floor up top. Would have probably benefited us. Double layers in the walls too. I mean, heck, this is all going to be... Let's take some of these blocks out and show you here. See, you have this spot right here. I'm not concerned at all with all the armor we're going to have on the outside of this thing of them ever blowing through these exterior walls like that. If we're taking that much damage, then we're not doing it right, you know. We don't have a very good ship if we're taking that much damage. So what are you doing here, Spartan? Yeah, I guess I could lay it down in the floor. I don't know how well that might work. I kind of don't like the way it looks standing up like that. Is there a way for us to flip it? Oh. No. Let's see how it looks. Oh, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. All right. And it's the right color. So we can put a lot of these things in the walls, like example, our O2 station. So we need an O2 station, eh? Oh. There you go. There's your spot for your O2 station. Oh, is it too tall for this area? No, it's not too tall. Pow. Make it the right color. Same thing with the oxygen tank. We can do a better transition in the blocks as well. You know, it doesn't always have to be just a square divider in between. But like I said, this ship is really not meant to be fancy. Oh, shoot. Wrong thing, Spartan. It's meant to be functional. And so we're not going to concern ourselves like I normally would on 7 days. I get a little picky about the way things are. But that'll all look just fine. Just stick it in the wall and let it go. And look at all this space we have back here too. We could make the cockpit out of glass. All of this on the interior part, we could make glass. We could put some deco blocks in there, you know, and make it all look nice. But this particular pilot seat is not going to be here. We're going to move it up. We're going to leave this chamber. I like to have this chamber to protect this seat. And you see how far out that comes down there. Well, yeah, we're going to extend that on down, all the way. And it's going to have plenty of room for protection so that they don't, they can't fire and take our seat out. Even thought about putting an emergency one in there somewhere to prevent that from happening. But yeah, she's starting to take a little bit of shape now, a little bit of form. Starting to look better, look more like a ship. What I'll do is I'll probably get on here and work on this just a little bit off camera, touch up some spots. I'll certainly do that corner piece. I'll figure out what I want to do with that so we're not just wasting time here. The minutes are ticking. You don't get enough done in an hour as it is for me to be sitting here trying to figure out what looks all nice. You know, it's really not even that big of a deal. But I certainly wanted to have something that I was happy with, being that this is going to be something that we use in a real game and not just a tutorial on how to build a capital vessel. Something that we'll take pride in and we'll use it. And like I said, if it works out really well and it's something that we like and it works on our single player taking out those POIs, heck, we'll upload it to Steam. And that'll allow any of you who are watching this that want to just test it out in your game, spawn it in or something and get a little taste of it to do so. So something like that. Then we'll do the exact same thing with the bottom. Whoa! Go down into underneath the world. Don't do that, Spartan. Son of a gun, you. All right. Something like that. you what, let's do this here real quick. I get too click happy on rotating those blocks. All right, like that. And we'll go back to the curved or the angled piece and add those in. And do one more layer. Well, let's get our glass blocks out and see how dangerous this looks. So it's not like we have glass going all the way across the front. These are armored glass blocks as well. So let's do... Be pretty cool if we could do the round verticals in the front, but I don't think, you know, that could... I don't think we could get that to look right. We'd have to do the whole front as a round piece, which is possible. You know, we could. But I kind of like the... Instead of having it all perfectly round, I kind of like the angled look. I played around with that on my on the server a while back. So we could do slope here. And then use these pieces here, but turn them. What are you doing? Spartan. There we go. One there, and then, you know, it'd probably be smart for us now to put in some type of a protection block right here, you know? Something like that. I don't know if I necessarily like that, but something, because that way a direct shot head on can't take out our pilot seat there. And maybe we could even place the pilot seat directly up behind that thing or something too. But either way, I mean, it's right in the center now. It's directly behind it. Just add a little bit of glass. Of course, it looks all lopsided because I don't have the side done or the corner over there like we did this one. Let's look at it from this way over here and see more what it looks like. Kind of don't like the way the legs look. We may mask those legs, kind of like we did down here in protecting those thrusters. We may mask those legs a little bit with angle pieces. And I'll give you a quick example of what I'm talking about here. I thought about this earlier today. I said, you know, it just does not look good with those legs being down there the way they are. Son of a gun, Spartan. There we go. What are you doing? There we go. And then we're going to get the corner pieces. I think they're the tiny corner pieces, or they're the next. Yeah, they're this one right here. So something like that. I see that looks a little nicer than what we had before. And just a little block sticking down there the way we had it. That I could probably doctor that up to be a little smoother. But the reason it's so big is, you know, we'll go down into the ground so you can see those large thruster engines down there to cover up and protect. But yeah, I'm going to have to play around with these corners off camera and see what I like, you know, what's comfortable. Don't know if I quite like the glass in the front that way or not. Maybe we change that up a bit too. Instead of the angle pieces there, we could probably do something else. It looks a little nicer, but for the time being, we're just going to leave it like that until we're ready to go. But I could even extend the glass up here and go long ways. You know, long ways at an angle going up this way. But I think that's just too much glass. You know, glass only takes a few shots and it's done. So it's starting to come together now, ladies and gentlemen. It's looking a little bit more like a capital vessel should. I know there's some really nice ones out there that people have put just hundreds or even more hours into. And tip the old hat to those people for creating something like that for everyone, because you see here now in just a tiny bit that we have done, we've already used up 2 hours. And we've not even really gotten started on this thing good. There's still so much more to be done to make it a proper vessel. Something else I could do to utilize space, and I thought about doing this with some windows. Here, give you an example here. We'll get the angled piece here and move them down here like that. And have ourselves a way to walk into here, you know, make a door, I don't know, door. There's your door. Let's get the elevator block in there, get the door blocks out. That's not going to work until I put a block there. You know what I'm saying? So now, even though, of course, I'm flying around, so it's not going to look right, and this will all be enclosed here on the side as well. But we could have this area to walk around and have a little windowed area. Let's see how it looks like from out here. It looks okay, I guess. You know, it's not the coolest thing in the world. But that way, it also will save a little bit on weight. You know, we won't be burning as much fuel because we'll have, you know, some extra space in here and give us another little way to kind of get around and so forth and so on. But so we covered a decent amount of ground today on it. At least I was able to show you. I worried in that last episode. I said, you know, it looks like garbage. You know, it just does not look like anything that anyone would ever want to fly around in. And I hope that people will stick around long enough to see my idea of, you know, the direction I wanted to move in with this ship. And I envisioned it in my mind initially. And so now you all can see kind of what I was looking at the whole time. So this seat right here, see how it sits directly behind that block. So you take a direct shot from right here. It's absolutely protected. But we'll call it there for tonight or today, wherever you may be located. I'll try to, before next episode, absolutely get on these corners and work something out with the corner. And maybe I do 3 or this one, and then I save the other corner for, you know, on camera here so you all can see it. And the same in the back. I may try to figure out a nice little transition between our angle pieces here in the front and what we're going to do on the back. Also, may, you know, now that I think about it, I may want to do something with the small vessel up top to protect it so that it's not exposed. I could even make a little hanger out of the back. It's something we didn't get to today. We're going to get to next episode. Is a way to do this number right here. Let's spin her around. So I don't know if you're not familiar with the game, or you're not familiar with this particular block, but having a doorway, you know, down something like that, a way for us when we walk out the door, you can just look out, and boom. Of course, I'm in flying mode, so you can't really see. Only disadvantage is it does not go all the way down to the ground, but you do have jump jets, you know, and you could just jump up to it. But that was just another idea. That's why I put the hole in the back when I was drilling the holes for all of the thrusters. You know, I did that. So still a long ways to go, but it's getting there. You know, we'll have it in a few episodes, I hope, have it all together. Then we'll snapshot it, blueprint it in the single player game, and see what kind of resources this thing is going to take to actually build it. Probably a lot of iron more than anything else. So it shouldn't be too resource heavy. You know, it should be something that's accomplishable in a short amount of time in the game, and have yourself a nice sturdy capital vessel that can go kick some alien butt. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.